Okay, I'm finna get a little deep with y'all. And I hope that you can kind of understand where I'm going. Some of y'all not. You know, I'm going to tell you something. This is a testimony from me to you. A lot of times my life, well, I ain't going to say a lot of times. My life is a testimony. It is a true testimony. And it's a true testimony because when I talk about what happened to me, I don't tell you just what happened to me in the bad. I try to tell you how God brought me out of it and what lesson did I learn. Because if you don't learn a lesson from a bad situation, it's not a lesson. It's just something you went through. You know, one thing about life is that eventually it shows you the mirror that's facing the truth. See, a lot of us don't want to face the truth about things. Some of us think we're more religious than the others. Some of us think that if we do this, that God is going to bless us. Some folks sit and talk about people because they've never been in that situation. Some people laugh at other folks because you know what, they have never experienced that situation or they're keeping up some kind of image. And it's easy to shield, put a what is it? Just like a bunny. You know, when somebody don't want to do their hair or their hair bad or they don't want to get their hair matted up or anything, they put a bonnet on. But here's the part. They put the bonnet on, and the bonnet is supposed to be designed for something like going to sleep, but instead they take that bonnet with them to the mall, to the church, on job interviews. They walk around with it every day, and that bonnet becomes part of them. Not the hair, but the bonnet. And when you tell them to take the bonnet off, they get mad. They talk about you because that bonnet, they kept that bonnet on, something that was supposed to be just for a minute to go to sleep. They turn around and they made that bonnet a part of their wardrobe. That's how some of us are now. You hear it so much that it's hard for somebody to sit here and tell you to get up off your bootstraps. Now, this is not just for blacks and whites. This is just for everybody. You know, it's easy for somebody to tell you you need to get a job and you need to do this and stuff, and they don't know your situation. See, because we all have a road that we crossed, we walked and everything till where we at now. See, Samantha wasn't always like this. Always wasn't like this. You know, when I am going through something bad, I don't sit here and blame other folks, or I don't say, oh, it's somebody else's fault. First thing I look at is I said, what did I do? What did I do that I could have prevented myself from going through this again? Or what did I learn from this? You know, America talk about God for so long, but do you talk to him? You say you're doing God's work, but do you talk to him? And when do you talk to him, do you hear your version or do you hear his version? See, because when I was trying to go through my path, I'm gonna get to this. You just gotta hold on now. Hold on. See, when I was asking God to fix other people, he wouldn't do it. But then when I asked him to fix me and show me things, he didn't show me the pretty side of Samantha or helping, or he didn't say, Samantha, you know, you doing so good with this. He said, Samantha, You know what? He said, you're sure you want me to show you? Yes, Lord, I've been good. I try to go to church and I try to do this and I try to do this. And then he started showing me the real me. See, Samantha had some demons. She had some demons. She still do. But Samantha had, and then when he showed me, oh, no, that ain't God. That's the devil. Oh, that's the devil. No, that was God. See, because we think that because we have money, that we have power, or we wasn't the way we were when we were born or raised, that we are doing good, that God is blessing us. No, it's not. You know, for you to have compassion would be like asking somebody. See, this is where right now what we going through, this is where God is finna get ready to play a life in each and every one of y'all individual lives. See, because you have folks that says, she just sitting on her butt, doing all these folks on welfare, laying on their butt and doing all this and stuff. But so many people were blessed to go to their refrigerator, even if they didn't have a lot, go to their refrigerator and be able to get something to eat. Versus, you know what? Put yourself in another person's situation where, you know what? Like a child, and you got to get up in the morning and go to school, and you hungry because you barely ate last night. You get one meal a day. Or better yet, your parents are homeless because for some financial reason that they sleeping in the car now. Now they got to get up out the car. They got to find a space to sleep everybody. The mama probably sleeping in the driver's seat. The children on the passenger, some in the back. They lay, I'm using my truck. And then they got to get up. They sleeping on their clothes. They sleeping on where they eat, sleep. And then they got to get up and go to a gas station and wash up to go to school and stay focused. Or better yet, some elderly woman who's on a fixed income, and she, you know what, she's on medication. Whatever reason it was, maybe she worked at a company like Enron. Or, them companies that went out of business. And she was forced to, at 78, she got to work at Walmart so she can keep some kind of benefits. Or better yet, I'm even go further. That 83-year-old woman that got in Memphis that got kicked out, that was about to get kicked out of her house. Instead of at first, and how that young girl talked to that woman. See, because we don't think that, that right now it's all about, I'm going to do a job where they got a job to do. We don't look at compassion, or we don't even think about that one day we may be living 83. See, because I never thought I would be turning 60. I never thought that. I never pictured myself at 60. We don't know what people go through. Because I come here and I smile that I might be possibly going through depression. This could be my last video. And I could go in the house and then take care of my business. See, we don't look at people's lives like we look at the outside. We don't look at people. We don't have empathy for people. We don't know what a person going through. But you know what? We quick to say, oh, you know what? This is how I am. God is this. Woman with 4 kids Yeah, that's wrong, but we not looking at maybe she was molested or raped or she went through a bad childhood and she was never raised and then when she finally found herself and realized she can't just go and take the kids back. She got to deal with it. Or a woman who has chosen or got caught up in something. And she says, you know what? Something happened and I'm not ready. We want to sit here and say abortions is wrong. Okay, I get it. But then we don't want to sit and pray and ask God to whatever decision she have to do. See, people think that when you go for an abortion that you know what, it's just a procedure. But no, that's not just a procedure. That's a mental procedure. There's a spiritual procedure because you know what? It's not just killing a baby, it's killing her too. It's just like bringing a child into this world. But we don't want to see it like that. You don't know what drove that woman to make that most harsh decision in the world. But we want to judge her about it. You don't know what decision it was for a man. I know a guy, he was scheduled to be a great baseball player. We grew up with him. He went to a party and he was never the same since. Somebody put something in his drink. So when you sit here and you talk about things and people, you don't know what path that they went through. You don't know what hill and how waters that they went through to get to where they are now. But some of us live with a mask. You know, I believe that when God gets so tired of things that's going on, he start burping it up. He regurgitate the corruption, all the things in this world that's going through, and it's up to us to look at it and see what we can do. It's up to us. All this exposure and stuff that's going through. I really believe God is trying to bring the best of us out. But some of us don't want to do it because you know why? Because we don't want to face our own truth. We take pictures on vacations like we happy and everything. And then this man could be beating the crap out of that woman. Or better yet, they look like the perfect marriage. They never had an argument. Then you see on the news where the man and killed the wife and the son and everybody, and then he killed himself. Because we don't want to face our truth. We don't want to face the vomit that is coming out now. We don't want to face it. Now we want to say, I don't condone violence, but we've been living in violence all our lives. How many black men been lynched? And then we have white folks who, some, not all, but we want to have white folks that say, no, I am not racist, but we want to sit here and say that. We want to sit here and say, no, we don't want to believe that our own race sold us out, whether our own brown race is selling us out. We don't want to believe that. We don't want to believe that a lot of black folks have turned to what's in it for me instead of what's in it for the community. I'm all about that money. See, yeah, America's not going to be the same no more. It's not. People are not going to be the same no more. But right now, this is your truth. So many people that's hiding behind scriptures and Bible and saying, you know what, the Bible says this, the Bible says this, the Bible says a lot of things, but we don't practice it. We don't pray. You know what? It's getting ready to get cold. How many of y'all will be willing to take a homeless person a meal? But see, you know what? This is where it gets, see, because and the my son used to always say this, Mama, you play, you shouldn't be saying that everything ain't about race. But it everybody is playing a card now. They playing the race card. They playing the hate card. They playing the political card. They playing the age card, the gay card. They playing the homeless part. They playing the you need to get off, no sympathy card. Every card is being played. Right now, I deal with the age card. I deal with the race card. The stereotype card. Right now, this is something where, and I'm going to focus back on Memphis. This is something where y'all can turn something bad into good. Stop thinking everybody black is trying to help you and everybody white is against you. There are differences between MAGA and Republicans. Those who are in office are MAGA. True Republicans are people like Liz Cheney, Colin Powell. There are people who embrace being black. If Clarence Thomas could, if there was a bleach whiting skin that he could dip in and become white, he would do it. He hate his race. He hate his color. There are some people that hate being brown. We need to embrace that. Everybody is not on the train. There are good people. There are good people in this world, despite the fact that what they live. And we got to understand something. It is not your job to change somebody from being gay to straight. It is not your job to sit here and judge that woman that got 9 kids. It is not your job to sit here and talk about somebody whose life you don't know how they got through. It is not your job to sit here and say that AIDS is a plague. It is not your job. That's not what you here for. Because they going through their own awakening. It's not your job. Your job is to ask God for your purpose, where your mission is, where you at. And some of y'all so busy in somebody else's backyard, you can't hear what he's saying. I had to go through a lot of spiritual healing because everything ain't about me. Even though I go through it, everything ain't about me. Some things is about what I have to do in this world. Go, you know what? Put yourself, God gonna do it to a lot of folks. But before you sit here and talk about somebody being immigrant, what would you do if you was in a country where you wouldn't thrive? We are blessed for that. Because we can get up and go. You know what? I had stopped thriving in Memphis. My spirit told me that. And I got up and I left. That's what they did. It's making us embrace things in our life. That's whatever somebody, religion or gay or whatever, that's their job. You can't force somebody to be, you don't even, some of y'all don't even know what Christianity is. Some of y'all don't. You know what? I'm going to be honest. I am more scared of somebody that's reading the Bible and trying to quote something and living a different life but God already exposed Trump. But you got folks that don't want to realize that right now, this is our mirror. This is everybody's mirror. This is everybody's mirror. Go sit with a homeless person. and hear their story. Go to a nursing home and see people who are in their 80s. Some can't get out of bed. See, we fail to realize God may let you live long enough to be that person's age. Or better yet, you ain't got to be 83 to become a cripple. There's some that come at 50, at 60. Some younger than that. Lou, you know what? Those who sit here and saying how bad things are, that people are living off the system. I met somebody who worked in the federal government, and they got fired during the Doge. And for the first time in 29 years, she was getting food stamps. And she was shopping like she had went to the lottery. And I started talking, because I talk to people. I talk to people. She said, the first thing that came out of her mouth was, I didn't vote for this. I didn't vote for this. And you know what? I looked at her and I said, can I say something? I said, I just want to say something. And I said, I'm not going to make you feel bad. I want to talk to you. I said, you voted for it, but you didn't expect it to come to your house. I see that's the difference between a lot of people. We voted for other folks. You voted for you. I said, it never dawned on you that you would be getting food stamps. She was about to cry. She said, no, I never thought about that. I said, well, take this situation right now and look at it another way. That it was there for you. And that God is letting you see that, you know what, everybody that's getting assistance ain't trying to drain the system. Some of us are trying to do it just to survive. To have a little bit of cushion. She started crying. Said, you know what, I believe that. I'm not going to keep this a little bit longer, but I want to tell you that, you know what? We are going through something that somebody in the 40s went through. Somebody back in the day went through. And the question is this right here. We got a better chance back then with social media and all of that of fighting and resistance. But the thing about it is this right here. Don't say this country is not evil. It is. It is. But for all of you who are trying to sit here and say, stop, just look in the mirror. I don't see black. I don't see woman. I see me and what I go through. And every morning when I go through something, I don't sit here and say, oh, because I'm black, this person. No, I don't. This is a time that we need to just wake up and realize if you know what, how can you fix a problem if you don't recognize it? How can you sit here and say that it's not happening if you don't address it? I'm going to end this with folks who got kids. It's some folks that had kids because of money. It's folks who had kids to keep a man. It's folks who had kids. I'm talking about women now. It's folks that had kids because you know what? It was stability. Now they ain't got that, but they got the kids. And I worked in social services. And I heard a lot of times this saying from the mama, I can't do nothing with him. Well, see, that's the results of it now. They grew up. And now, because you couldn't do nothing with it, the government is doing something with it. And y'all ain't going to like the results. Face the problem. Stop sitting here justifying it. Face the problem, because it would never get better. It would never manifest. And if you want something better, you got to face that problem. Even if you can't fix, even if you can't heal from the problem, acknowledge it. That'll help you make a better decision on whatever you're doing. Fix your life. This is our mirror. This is our mirror. And can't nobody fix. You can't continue to blame other folks for problems that you need to take. Can't blame a Mexican for you not getting a job. Maybe that's not your calling. You can't get mad at somebody black because they decide to go to college. Maybe that's not your calling. But right now, this is a time where we need to start looking in the mirror and facing what we did. What part did you play in this destruction? And fix what you did wrong. This is not America. I don't know what it is. But in order for us to call it United States, we all got to be united. And right now we're not.